For our last segment, we have National Geographic Explorers at Large, Beverly and Dereck Joubert, with us on Skype. Their latest project, Birth of a Pride, follows a female lioness and her cub. Let's watch the trailer.
Can nature ever be rebuilt? Brought back from near extermination. Perhaps. Come with us behind the veil into the darkness and answer that question. Witness firsthand what it takes.
Wow, just magnificent creatures. Hi, guys.
Hey there, how are you?
Diana.
Thank
How
you for
doing?
joining us.
Thank you. That clip looks so good. I even want to watch the show.
First, you're a married couple who travel and explore together. Do a lot of people say they're jealous of you both?
We get that all the time, yeah. And of course, we're holding on to that. It's very special to be together 24/7.
A lot of couples would say that's difficult, but you've been able to navigate and manage it, especially when you're in the wild with these beautiful lions. Can you tell us about your latest project in case our audience hasn't seen it?
Well, what you mean is that I'm lucky to have survived, that Beverly doesn't throw me out to these lions, right?
Yeah.
The latest project is Birth of the Pride, as you've seen there. Very exciting for us because we took over this area when it had been heavily, heavily hunted. And there were just 2 lionesses left. And when we started rebuilding that area, the lions started to come back. These lionesses started to breed. And now it's a real success. We've got between 60 and 100 lions there now.
And I think this is really a testament to good conservation. If you put good practices in place, you can turn a bad situation around.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take to film and produce this doc?
Oh gosh, we were in the field for nearly 4 years trying to cover this because we had to follow that pride as they got older and older and then recycle through. And the editing took nearly a year, 9 months, I think it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to kind of just jump. Did you get emotionally attached to the pride?
You know, we always do. It's impossible not to. And I think the hardest for us is obviously watching these 2 lionesses with such an enormous task of trying to keep 6 cubs alive. It wasn't easy for her at all. And then, of course, especially the 24 hours when our hearts were in our throat, it was anxiety-filled, wondering if the 2 lionesses were going to make each journey that they had to do across that river. And they did it 7 or 8 times. I mean, it was remarkable.
So Beverly's emotionally attached to the lions. I'm just emotionally attached to Beverly.
Oh, that's so sweet. Why did you choose to follow this lion and her cub for the documentary?
Well, as I say, we just came across this situation once the lions had really been shot down to just these 2. And so we really wanted to follow what would happen as they started to recover, as we stopped the hunting.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about establishing the Big Cats Initiative with National Geographic?
Sure. So about 10 years ago now, we were really worried about the status of big cats. When Beverly and I were born, there were about 450,000 lions, for example, and now there are 20,000 lions. And so we realized that we had to lean forward into this and really do something. And now we've got projects in about 27 countries.
And it's over 100 projects, 27 countries, and I think about 57 grantees. And the grantees are all people on the ground very passionate about turning this the situation around, working with communities. And in one area, in fact, we've just come back from one of the great projects, which is the Maasai Olympics. And that happens every 2 years. And that really has been a success story. There were 20 lions about 6 years ago, and now there are over 100 lions. So we can be innovative and we can turn these situations around.
What can regular people like us do to help lions?
Oh, look, I think that the problem with all big cats, all conservation really stems down, it comes down to ignorance and greed. Mm-hmm. And so really and truly what your viewers, what your followers should be doing is just fighting that ignorance, just informing themselves as much as possible, never buying into the myth about hunting being conservation, or that it's fine to consume body parts of animals. All of that knowledge, that everybody needs to know that, and the minute they know it, they can't unknow it. Then we all collectively have to deal with the greed.
What do you think of the upcoming live-action reboot of The Lion King? Do fictional stories like this have a real impact on people's attitudes about these animals?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important for the young generation. They are going to be our future generation, the future ambassadors in protecting the planet. So yes, they are key. Even if it's more caricaturalistic of lions, it's really important.
I mean, many conservationists grew up on Bambi, and I think that there's a whole generation that'll grow up on Lion King, already have grown up on Lion King. And so the new version of that sets basically in motion a general love for animals and a love for big cats. So we're big fans.
Your work can be dangerous. Can you tell us about getting attacked by a buffalo last year?
Our work, has danger involved, but I would hate people to not want to come and do it and just think of the danger. I think on a daily basis, we are not having, fear. We're sort of embracing every day out there and every moment. But yes, it was now 20 months ago. Both Dereck and I were confronted by a buffalo. He came in between us at high speed. I mean, we had less than 3 seconds, to interact. And he knocked Dereck flying, and I was impaled, and he ran off with me. If it wasn't for Dereck not being knocked out and having the courage, Dereck ran after him and managed to get me off. And so here we are today. We've survived, and we still love a buffalo, or not. But we still love the animals, and we are determined to speak out for them. They are the voiceless. And, we're losing them at an alarming rate, and we want to be their voice.
Finally, what are some of the best moments when shooting Birth of a Pride?
Oh gosh, I think, one of the great things that we enjoyed here is, and about the film is using that thermal technology and going behind that veil and really understanding what lions do without lights, without daylight. So that was a lot of fun. But I think for both of us, the moment where these 6 cubs, and you showed the clip, where 6 cubs are trying to swim across the river. The females spend the whole day crossing back and forth, trying to get these cubs to follow them. And then finally, as darkness fell, they left 2 cubs behind. And we had to decide whether to intervene or not, and it's been our life's policy not to intervene. So we spent the night with these 2 cubs. And then in the morning, the 2 females did actually come back for them. So it was an emotional highlight.
And I think another moment is clearly the success of where we are in the conservation in the area, going from 2 lionesses to today, where there's over 100 lions. And so that clearly is a celebratory time of just knowing that a new paradise has been born in that area. So the Birth of a Pride is the apt name for the film.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today and sharing the story, and I hope that our viewers will check it out.
Thank you, Diana.
Thank you so much.